Good afternoon or good evening to all my dear students, revered teacher friends, all the educational officers or participants. In our last class, we had discussion about open schooling, and today we are to discuss another most important area of your second chapter, that is development of primary education in Assam. These are very much important. If you about open school, you are to study there. You are to study about open university. Also, the concept you are to study as well as the basic aims and objectives of open school, open university or universities you are to study. And today we are to discuss in brief about open university, so that in your examination, final examination, if questions are asked, you can write so much well. Let us see, open university, you have the or you got the information relating to open school and the contents which you got for the concept of open, for the clarification of the concept of open schooling. You can write the same concept for discussing the concept of open university, but at the time of discussing the concept of open university, you simply are to change the terminology. Instead of open schooling, you are to write here as open university. Open university is a special agency of distance education. See, if it is asked to write in your examination, mention about any one agencies of distance education, then you can write about open school, open university, etc. The history you are to know about the history of distance education proves that the full-fledged open university was first of all started in the United Kingdom in the last 60s. So first of all, the concept of open university or open learning or distance learning was developed in the United Kingdom in the last 60s. The origin of the open university is traced to Prime Minister Harold Wilson's idea of University of the Air. University of the Air. This was the idea of, the British Prime Minister or the Prime Minister Harold Wilson, and he dreamt about establishing University of the Air, means where there will be no fencing, no real campus. So from this concept, University of the Air, the concept of open university as well as distance learning has become so much important in our today's social order. Let us go back to the next one. In 1969, see friends, 6 years after Sir Harold Wilson voiced his idea for a University of the Air, the Open University received its royal charter. In 1971, courses went out to students for the first time. See, in the United Kingdom, if you study the history, then you will come to know about the concept or idea of Harold Wilson, and thenceforth you will come to know about 1969, and thenceforth you will come to know about 1971, since which time this was the education, the courses went to the students with the help of the Open University system in the United Kingdom. And thenceforth, in different parts of the globe, the process of starting or establishing Open University becomes so much rapid. The establishment of the Open University in the United Kingdom has provided inspiration to several countries. As a result, today we have Open University in socialist and non-socialist countries and in developed and developing countries. From the United Kingdom, in all other countries nowadays, we do have open universities, and this concept was the concept of Sir Harold Wilson, and his concept was University of the Air, without campus university. And thenceforth, gradually the process started in 1971. Students had the chance to get education with the help of the Open University, and thenceforth in most of the parts of the countries, different countries of the globe, different open universities were established in socialist countries, in non-socialist countries, in developed countries as well as in developing countries. For instance, there are open universities in China, West Germany, Spain, Canada, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, and in a few other Latin American countries as well. If you come back to your own country, India, we have now 14 open universities, out of which 13 are in state level and one is in national level. We have one national leveler as well as international level open university and 13 state level open universities in our country too. Let us go back. In India, now let us see. First of all, an open university was started in 1982 in Andhra Pradesh, which started 14 programs. In 1982 in our country, the process started in Andhra Pradesh. After that, in 1985, this is in national level. I have already mentioned that up till now we have 14 open universities, one in national and international level, and 13 others are in state level. And this is the only national level open university which was established in 1985, and the name is IGNOU. In your examination, if it is asked to write the full form of IGNOU, then you are to write Indira Gandhi National Open University. When Indira Gandhi National Open University was established, or when IGNOU was established, then you are to write about 1985. When the process of establishing Open University began in India, then you are to mention about 1982 in Andhra Pradesh. And was established. The university started, IGNOU started 62 programs at the initial stage. The Indira Gandhi National Open University has been offering both long-term as well as short-term academic programs nowadays. And all the courses are very much, very much scientific and up-to-date courses. IGNOU courses are not so much easy courses, friends. The long-term programs of the university have included degree courses, both undergraduate as well as in postgraduate level. So these are the long-term programs, and short-term programs are certificate programs of different certificate programs concerning to different areas of knowledge. Let us go back to the next slide. To understand the roles as well as the aims and objectives of the open universities, the observation of the POA. What is the full form of POA? Program of Action. 1986, after the policy for National Policy on Education 1986, we had discussion. Up till now, we have got 3 national policies. One is just after the independence of the country, after the Qatari Commission of 1964 and 66, we got the first national policy. The first national policy was formulated by the Government of India in 1968. The second we got in 1986. This was the second policy which was formulated by the Government of India, and the second policy is National Policy on Education 1986, and the third one is the National Policy on Education 2020. Also, 1986, in the context of implementing the National Policy of Education, has rightly observed, this policy says, the open university system augments opportunities for higher education, ensures access, is soft, effective, and promotes a flexible and innovative system of education. So friends, these are the specialities of the open universities. Means opportunities of ensures access, cost effective, and promotes a flexible and innovative system of education. The programs of the open universities are very much flexible. The programs are very much innovative. The system of education of open universities of our country are very much innovative. And there is there is the possibility of mass access or mass entry into the sector of education. The Indira Gandhi National Open University has been established with these objectives. What are the objectives? You will come to know. Assign the responsibility to coordinate the distance learning system in the country and determine its standards. Thus, the characteristics of the Open University may be cited as the given below. So, these are the characteristics. If it is asked to write in your examination, write any 2 or 3 characteristics of Open University, then you are to write all this. The Open University is an independent institution. Number 1. The Open University is a self-governing distance teaching institution which awards its own degrees, diplomas and certificates. Degrees in long-term programs, diplomas in short-term programs, certificates in short-term programs. Let us go back to the next. In Open University, students do not attend a campus. They need to go to classes like you. You are to come to your class. But in Open University, learners need not to go to classes, but learn at home in their own time from specially written booklets known as course units, recommended textbooks, radio and television broadcasts and other audio-visual material, and home experimental kits for do-it-yourself experiments. Means students are to, or learners are to do themselves, staying at home instead of going to the educational institution or to the university campus. They can remain or they can stay at their own home, you see, and continue learning. In addition to the following exercises, in Open University, a certain amount of face-to-face tuition at the study centers at annual summer sitting held. There are different tuition study centers are there which are being recognized by the Open Universities. In our college also there is a study center of KK Handiqui State Open University, and students need not to come to their classes. They are to, you see, they are supplied with study materials, and sometimes they are to listen to the radio programs. They are to listen to the, you see, other programs which are being transmitted or telecasted to them by the concerning authority. Simply sometimes for, you see, some annual summer sitting are held, and in annual summer sittings learners are given different guidance or they are given instructions how they are to prepare for their examination or how they are to, you see, study the study materials. In Open University, students are encouraged to meet in self-help groups throughout the year. Self-learning has special importance in open system, and they are to learn themselves depending on the study materials which are being supplied to them by the Open University or by the organization or by the university itself. Let us go back to the next. The prime objectives. What are the objectives of the Open University? If it is asked to write in your examination, then you are to write all these. To provide higher education on a large scale to all people who have missed the chance in their early years. Suppose you are now continuing your higher secondary education. You have got one job anywhere else. Means job opportunity you have got. And you see, leaving your higher secondary study, you have joined there. And after few years you want to or complete your higher secondary course and then sport your degree course, then sport your master degree course. Then you see, you can continue your job at the same time. You can, with the help of the Open University courses, continue your study at any age level, staying anywhere else instead of going to the campus or instead of going to the institutional setting. Number 2, to advance and disseminate learning and knowledge by a diversity of means, including the use of communication technology. You see, communication technology with the help of radio, internet, teleconferencing, all the means or mediums are, with the help of all the means and mediums, learners can learn or learners can tackle or settle their own problem concerning to their own study level or area. To promote educational well-being of the community general, and mass literacy is to be, you see, spreaded. Illiteracy is to be totally eradicated from the social order, and you see, knowledge society or knowledge social order is the prime concern, and mass access is the prime concern or objective of all the open learning mechanism, maybe Open University or maybe Open School. Let us go back to the next one. To help to continue work and education all together. You can work at the same time, you can continue your study. So work and education go all together there with the help of the Open University. You can continue your job or service at the same time, you can continue your study too. Now let us see, the role of Open University is very important, especially in spreading higher education among the deprived group of people. Deprived group of people. Why deprived? Because of different family problems, people become compelled to, you see, engage themselves for earning livelihood. And in such situation, most of the people do not get the chance to complete or to satisfy the aspiration of their higher education. And they can now satisfy their aspiration of higher education with the help of the services of the open universities. And that's why it is seen as the right group of people. Open universities, or it helps in the process of intellectual reorientation of knowledge. Intellectual reorientation of knowledge. So long you are not going or you are not continuing your higher education, and that's what suddenly again you have started to continue your higher education or higher educational process. So once you continue or once you start or begin to continue your higher educational exercises, the process of reorientation of your knowledge also begins. The Open University also helps in providing professional refresher courses to those who are in different professions. Now, this is also possible with the help of the Open Universities. Let us go back to the next one. Now, I have already mentioned before you, I have placed that altogether we have in India 14 Open Universities are there. One is in national and international level, that is IGNOU, means Indira Gandhi National Open University, and other 13 universities are in state level. In Assam, in northeastern part of India, Krishna Handiqui State Open University is one of the most important open universities, and you are to know about this one. When it was, this information is taken from the prospectus of the Open University. You can search in internet, you can go to the website of KK Handiqui, and thenceforth you will be able to know about this. KK Handiqui State Open University or Krishnakant Handiqui State Open University was established under the provision of the KK Handiqui State Open University Act 2005, enacted by the government of Assam and published in the Assam Gazette dated 29/9/5, has been recognized by the former Distance Education Council, New Delhi. Wide letter number so and so. The University Grants Commission means UGC. Wide its letter number, this is the so and so, 18th March 2009, also has empowered the university to award degrees under section 22 of UGC Act 1956. So Indira Gandhi Open University, when it was established, you will come to know about the Act 2005. Let us go back to the next slide. It is the 14th of its kind. I have already mentioned, one is in national and international level, 13 in state level. It is the 14th of its kind along with IGNOU. So IGNOU is in international and national level, and other 13 are state level. Krishna Handiqui is one of the university which is included in the list. The only state open university in the whole of Northeast India. If it is asked to write in your examination, you mention the name of the Open University which is the only university of northeastern part of India, then you are to write the name of KK Handiqui State Open University. And the headquarters of the university, where it is at Padgaon, Rani, Guwahati. Who was the first Vice Chancellor? Professor Srinath Barua was the first Vice Chancellor of Krishna Handiqui State Open University. Second Vice Chancellor who was? Professor Hitesh Deka was the second Vice Chancellor. And the third Vice Chancellor who recently has joined is Professor Kandarpo Das. He is the third Vice Chancellor of the university. Means KK Handiqui State Open University, which is the 14th number state, you see, open university in the country. We do have 14 open universities. One is in national as well as in international level, that is IGNOU or Indira Gandhi National Open University, which was established in 1985, and other 13 are in state level. And KK Handiqui is the only university, open university, which is there in the northeastern part of India. So thank you so much for today. The other part will be discussed in our next class. Today we should better leave here. You prepare you prepare well for your examination. All information do have special importance for your examination. Thank you so much.